Hello, good day, everyone. My name is Abisola Ojetunde. For those of you that are just joining us on this channel, welcome. And for our whole subscribers, I'm so happy and I'm so glad that you're still here with us. I'm sure you're fine, as I am fine too. It's always a delight for me to come on this channel, you see, for us to discuss, for us to share thoughts, for us to learn, grow together in this space. And so today I want us to talk or discuss about something really important. You know, every time I come your way, we always discuss something important. Okay, so I want us to talk about something really important to us, and it's one of the reasons why marriages and relationships don't work, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of people have even felt stagnation in their career or business, as the case may be, or probably they have experienced frustration in their friendship, or probably in every aspect of their lives. Okay, so we're going to be talking about you stop shrinking, embrace your unique personality. Stop shrinking, embrace your unique personality. What is your personality? Personality is the combination of your character, your value, your belief that makes you to be you. And some of these things, they're so dated back to the time of your formation. You see, there is nobody that knows how he or she was formed, either you're male or female. Nobody can say, oh, when I was being formed, I remember this was put inside of me as part of my traits or as part of my personality. No, we all were formed, and until we were giving birth to, you know, probably after a year or 2 years, we started knowing ourselves and all that. And so before that year of your being aware of you, there is who you have been, who you were made to be. And so, but when we get into the space of relationship, when we get into the space of marriage, we suddenly just find out that our significant partner will tell you, oh, I don't want you to be like this, I want you to be like this. And we start shrinking and we start adjusting, especially if you are an extrovert. You know, you are the life of a party, you know, you like to spread your wing, you're adventurous, you like to try new things, you like to create new paths, channel new ways of doing things, and probably you're not one that is easily put in a box, and you probably don't like following rules, not because you're rebellious, but because you like discovering new things. And people come around and tell you, oh, you are too much, oh, you are too loud, oh, you are too this, oh, you are too that. And after a while, because all those things, you know, they keep coming to us, especially in our formative years, and they keep coming to us, they keep going into our subconsciousness, and after a while, you start shrinking. Oh, it would have been better if you're like this, or it could have been better if you're like this. So right now, I'm going to tell you, before I go deeper into this discussion, I'm going to tell you 2 stories. The first one is about Mark Murdoch. I read in his book, he said when they were growing up, you know, they were all boys. And his father was on the very quiet side. You see, his father was very quiet because he was an intercessor. And for those of you that you have intercessors around you, or you probably one, you find out that intercessors don't talk too much, maybe because of the level of revelations or their connectivity to the Holy Spirit. You know, the channel has to be open every time for them to talk and all that. Okay, so the father was on the quiet side. He was so quiet that Mike Murdoch said that the man has only been into their room once. That most of the time the man doesn't talk to them, not because he was a mean man, but because, you see, small talk doesn't excite him. Okay, and his father will always say, oh, his mother, sorry, pardon me, the mother will always tell the boys, oh, keep quiet, stop talking too much, especially to Mike Murdoch, that, oh, you will never be like your father. Look at him, he's a very quiet gentleman, but look at you, you just everywhere, you talk too much, you do this too much, you do that too much. And so he told himself, you know what, I will stop talking. And so when he gets to school, he doesn't talk, he doesn't answer questions, he doesn't raise his hands to ask for clarification, and year in, year out. And so one day, he came back from school, and he went straight to the kitchen to meet his mom, and he just said, I am tired. I want to talk. I want to speak. And the mother in her wisdom looked at him and said, okay. You know what? We're just going to tell God to help you channel you rightly what those things he has put inside of you. And look at him today. Imagine if Mahmoud never talked. You and I would never have been blessed by his ministry and the ministry of wisdom. If you really want to learn what wisdom is, you need to read his books. You need to follow his teachings. And so imagine if his life wasn't talking. And so let me tell you about my story. That's the second story I want to tell you. Okay, I remember growing up. I have always felt different among my siblings. You see, I'm the fourth among five. So I've always felt different. And I remember growing up, because they will tell you, you talk too much, children don't need to. So I observe more than talk. So I see it, I just observe more. And it was really bad because it really affected my self-esteem. You see, I wasn't really, I wasn't this one person that would be in school, and even if I don't understand that subject, I'll just keep quiet. I'll go and read whatever I can understand. I wasn't this among my friends. I will be so popular, or I will have an opinion, to chip in probably while you and your friends, were seated and talking. I'd rather even stay on my own than, be in there and giving my opinion. And so it went on. And of course, my self-esteem wasn't developing. And I found out that probably one or two times that I feel, oh, I know something about this. Probably you're within the family or you're among your friends and you found out, okay, I know something about this. No, this is wrong. Oh, this is the right way that this should be done. And you probably want to give your opinion. Just, keep quiet. Can't you see your elder ones here? Don't you know you are too forward? You are too opinionated. You are too this. You are too this. And so after a while, all these things get into our subconsciousness. So I kept assimilating and imbibing all this, and they keep coming to me. And so I keep keeping quiet, and you see, and did it help me? Of course not. I've always believed there's a particular way I believe that life. I believe that you should not be a doormat to anyone. I believe every human needs to be respected. I believe everyone needs to have his voice and his opinion, expressed. I believe in humanity. I believe in honoring humanity. I believe in loving and being kind to humanity. I do not believe in violence towards anyone, especially women. I do not believe that women are lower, than men. I believe that we just have our different roles that we play. So, but however, growing up and you were told, oh, you talk too much, oh, you do this, so it shrank to the point that there are some things I'm supposed to stand up for myself. I'll remember, oh, I can't speak up. I don't know what I'm going to say. And that will probably get on the wrong side. And when you have this thought piled up in your mind for too long, after a while, they form something toxic inside of you that makes it come across people as if you're aggressive. And so probably that could be the reason why some people don't get along with you also, because you have the you inside of you, but because there is no means of expression, because you have decided to shrink in order to be accepted, in order to feel validated, in order to seek people's approval. After a while, they're so toxic to the point that they form aggression. And so when you need to really stand up and to really make your opinion known, you come across as people as, oh, you're too aggressive, what is going on? Or you're resentful, what is happening? You see, and so in the space of relationship and marriage, you can't afford to shrink. You want to shrink for the guy to accept you, or you want to downplay your traits and your values and your opinion for the lady to accept you. You don't need anybody to accept you. You don't need the approval of anyone to be who you are. Everything that you're meant to be, the owner, the creator, your molder has imputed everything inside of you. You know why? Because he knows everything about you. He understood that this is the kind of person I want this person to manifest on the earth. And if you're not doing that because you're trying to shrink so that you can sustain or you can maintain that relationship, or you're trying to shrink so that your marriage will not break, you eventually now find out that you're never satisfied. You won't get joy, you won't get happiness, and you just find out that, oh, probably on the outside the marriage is doing well, and but on the inside the partners are not happy. And one day you just find out, oh, the marriage is off, the marriage is broken, they are separated, they are divorced, and you ask yourself, what went wrong? Most of the time, the problem in marriages, they are not big issues. Because if you're telling me, oh, probably it's finance, what about the people that are rich? What should those ones say? So they are not big issues. The Bible talks about a particular thing. It said, beware of the little foxes that destroys the vine. What is the vine in this instance? It's your marriage. The little foxes is the shrinking, is the small things that looks, oh, probably they are insignificant. These are the things that destroy marriage. You know you're an extroverted person. You know you like adventure. You like you like, you know, be out there. You like spreading your wings. You like to fly. And somebody comes along and says, oh, you need to downtone who you are, you need to calm down, you need to stop this, you know, and just because, oh, I want to marry him. And most of the time, you're probably going into that marriage because of superficial reasons. Oh, they have money, or they are well connected in society, and what have you. And you downtone. And you find out in a few years' time that you are not satisfied. To people out there, even to your spouse, might be like, oh, I provided everything for you. Does that sound familiar? Oh, I've given you everything. What else do you want? The what you want, the very thing you want, is you. You have taken you out of the equation, thinking this body can flow with what it is. Meanwhile, the real you is inside of you. There are those potentials that you have killed, that you have buried, that you have made them dormant, that you have not given expressions to, that has caused that bitterness. So sometimes we bleed on our partners. We want them to fill that void. They can't. You know why? Because they are looking for the same thing you're looking for. And if it's even a disservice to your significant partner, when you are not your true self and you go into that space of relationship and marriage, because what the help they need, what they need from you, you won't be able to give it in fullness. You won't be. It's like buying a fake version of an original product. Now, by the time you are using that fake version, will it serve you? It probably will serve you for a few days. And probably the very time that you really need that thing, that's when it breaks off, or it caves in, or it gets destroyed. So how would you be satisfied? How happy would you be that at the very point that you needed that product to do a particular thing for you, that's the point that the product decides to destroy? That is what we do for people around us, especially for spouses of our significant partners. When we are not our true self, we come off to them, disguising to them that we are happy, when we are coming off to them as the fake version of ourselves. You're going to do humanity disservice. You're going to do that partner disservice. You're going to now do yourself disservice. And like my mentor will always say, he said, there is something inside you that is meant for the blessing of humanity. And if you don't give it to us before you leave this earth, you have cheated us. You probably might be looking at yourself and say, what do I have? Who am I? You can be talking like that because you have not discovered who you are. There was a time I wasn't sitting like this to do video because I feel who will listen to me. When they say I'm too opinionated, when they say I am too much, when they say I talk too much, when they say this, when they say that. But when I had to come out of my shell You know, as I was telling you about my story, that they keep telling me you're too much, and I kept shrinking and shrinking, and at a point I fell into depression. You know, I felt so unsatisfied, even though yes, I came into the space of adulthood and all that, but I wasn't happy. I knew there was something wrong. I knew there was something missing, until I had to do a soul searching. I had to go on a journey of finding me. So you have to find you. The problem in that marriage could be you are presenting the fake version of you. It won't last. And by the time the fake version is wearing out and the real you is trying to come out, there will be conflict of interest, because you have presented a fake version of you and your partner has gotten used to the fake version, even though you might not be so satisfied. And by the time the real version is now trying to come out of the shell you have created, your spouse is shocked, is surprised. He doesn't know who this new person is. And all of a sudden, you that you're not interested in probably studying more or learning more or advancing yourself, all of a sudden, because you're trying to find yourself, you come out and you say, you know what, I want to go and do this MBA, or I want to go for this course, or I want to build this capacity to develop myself. And he's used to you just lying around, you know, feeding you, you're not contributing anything to the family. And so you will be like, oh, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be defiant? Are you trying to be rebellious? And you say, no, I'm just trying to find me. He will tell you, no, this version is okay. And meanwhile, you are not going to be satisfied with the version you're presenting. If you're single, you are even at the most advantage. For those of you that you'll be following me on this channel, I keep saying singles are the most advantageous people. Don't rush off to get married. Getting married is not an achievement as much as it's a beautiful thing. I am married and I'm happily married. However, do not make marriage the end result of all that you want in life, because it is just a means to an end. It is not an end on its own. So if you are single, before you say I do to that guy, before you get the ring, please discover you. Let the real version of you come out, so that your spouse will be able to know this is the bargain I am going in for. Or peradventure you're in their relationship and you start shrinking yourself or presenting the fake version of you. And you're looking at it, okay, no, when we get married, everything will be. It doesn't get any better when we get married. I have been in this year, makes it 15 years. So I can gladly tell you that it doesn't get better. If it doesn't get better, if you have not found or discovered yourself. I am grateful to call that 3 years before I got married, I was able to connect with me. I was able to find me. So choosing my partner was a lot easier, because I knew what values I would be going for, because I knew what it is that is within me, who I am. So it was easy for me to choose a partner. But if you're single and you are yet to find you would definitely choose the wrong partner, because either you do it now or you do it later, the real you will find you. And at that point, you will discover that even though you have everything going on well for you, there is still this part of you, there is still this vacuum inside of you that is not finding alignment and fulfillment. So why don't you use this time, instead of using your time alone to look for partner, to chase after partner, use the same time to discover you, to look for you, to find out what are the things I'm capable of doing. Who am I? What are the potentials and the capability I am able to do? Then you'll be able to know the right partners for you. Now you're probably shrinking yourself because a guy or a girl somewhere wants you in a particular way. Who told you that's the only person you can get married to? You see, when humans have scarcity mentality, they tend to tell themselves, oh, this one, that is the best the world can ever offer. You see, I'm going to hold on to here and do everything I can do so that this does not slip away from me. Hello, newsflash. We have over 9 billion people on this earth. So how dare you think it's just that one person that will make you find fulfillment in life? That is not true. Because if you present your fake version now, you will later find out that fake things don't last forever. It's the original ones that do. Now, when the fakeness of you is wearing off, or the facade that you're putting over yourself is wearing out, your real version will start coming out, either you like it or not, because as long as you're in this earth, you must come out of your shell. Except you want to probably live your life in depression, unsatisfaction, pain, and sorrow. But there will be a time that you tell yourself, enough, I need to be happy for me. And at that point, a real you will come out, which is so different from who you have been presenting yourself. And at that point, the problem will be bigger than you ever thought, because your significant partner will tell you, oh, this is a new you that I've never met. This is not working. This is not who I want to marry. This is not who I want. And you see, that comes a problem. Why don't you make yourself known now? Find who you are. Then let your significant partner know, this is who I am. And you will find out that even if he or she doesn't stay, somebody better, because it is in discovering yourself that you attract the right kind of people you need into your life. But when you start shrinking, this is the problem of shrinking. When you shrink, first, you are going to be the first person that will be affected, because you are going to have residual of unhappiness, sorrow. Then the people around you, because there is something, there is a reason why people are around you. There is something that must come from you to serve them, because whatever is inside of us is meant for the service of humanity. So there is something that is inside of you that you're meant to use to serve them. Now you have shrunk it. They are not being served. They are dissatisfied. The approval and the acceptance you're gunning for, or that you're running after, they are not going to give you. You know why? Because there is no value that is coming from you to them. That is why some partners will view their other partners as valueless. Nobody is valueless, but because there is something inside of you that you have decided to bury. And so if you're not serving them, if you're not bringing any value from within you, then they will tend to see you as valueless. Now, that is another aspect. Now, your significant partner that you're trying to gun for their approval, make them accept you, they are dissatisfied also. So what is not the gain at the end of the day? Peradventure, you decide to come in your full version, in your real version. Even if that particular person you're in relationship with is not accepting or is not approving who you are, don't you think out of the over 9 billion on earth, there will be somebody, or there will be some people out there that is the kind of you they're looking for? And so if you deprive humanity of you, humanity is going to be dissatisfied. You have cheated us. Okay, you have cheated yourself. You have cheated your partner. And peradventure you're married and you're saying, oh, but you are just talking to the singles. Me, I'm married. No, you can discover yourself. Like I said, God created all of us as He pleases. And so it's an avenue for you to discover, oh God, you created me as you please. What was it that you created in me that you were pleased with? Ask Him. For those of you, you know what you're supposed to do, but you're not doing it. That is part of shrinking yourself. It might not be people that have told you that you shouldn't. It might be you that you're telling yourself, oh, come off it. Nobody's going to listen to me like I used to say to myself. Nobody's going to accept you. Nobody is going to appreciate what you are saying. Say it anyway. You don't need their approval. You see, okay, there's this illustration I'm going to give. I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. And so there's this thing that always comes to me anytime I'm putting myself down or somebody trying to put me down. And I say to myself, when the Bible says that Jesus came to save the entire world from the power of sin, from the power of Satan, so that we can come into the liberty that God is offering, right? Great. Now, when Jesus came, the very first or the very hard enemies he had, they were the people of faith. They were the Sadducees and the Pharisees. They were the people of religion. And so just imagine, for those of you that you're Christian, you appreciate this more. Just imagine, Jesus at that time said, oh, Pharisees don't like me, even Sadducees don't like me. And these are the custodians of the law then. These were the custodians of the religion then. And so he just said, they don't like me. How no, I need to make myself likable. You see, I'm going to shrink myself. I'm going to tend towards them. And I'm going to, behave the way they are. And peradventure, Jesus never made it to the cross. You and I, that we are Christians, we will not be talking about liberty, salvation, joy, and the Holy Spirit right now. But they didn't like him, and that didn't make him shrink. The truth of the matter is, everybody will not like you. It doesn't, if you shrink, everybody will still like you. If you decide to spread your wings and fly, everybody will still not like you. There is absolutely nothing that you can do to make everybody like you. Now, talking about the story of Jesus, imagine if Jesus decides to shrink, which side will he go to? Will he go to the side of the Pharisee? The Pharisees don't believe. They believe in resurrection of the dead. No, will he go to the side of the Sadducees? The Sadducees don't believe there's resurrection of the dead. So either ways, it was in hot soup. So the people you are trying to seek their approval, the people you are trying to make them accept you, they will still not all accept you. You know why? Because they still come with different opinions too. So if you tend towards the side, the other side will be like, oh, what kind of human is this? If you say, okay, let me sway to this, then the other side, they are disgruntled. So eventually, what would you do? So you see why your unique personality must be at all times on display. Let everybody know this is who you are, in sincerity, in humility, and in honor and respect for humanity. However, if anyone, even if it's your friends, if they're trying to shrink you just because you're probably out there, things are working for you, you have a good career, you have a good home, in that space, and your friends are trying to make you, then maybe those are not the kind of friends you're meant to be with. Don't forget, I always say, we are over 9 billion people on this earth. And so you can't live your life in scarcity mentality and say, oh, if I leave this house, how will I get new friends? How did you get there? They weren't your friends in the first place from maybe some years back. They flowed into your life one way or the other. So what makes you think you will not get somebody better? Or peradventure you're in a relationship and you say, oh, I got this guy. Oh, I really like him. Oh, I don't want to. There was a time you weren't dating this guy. True or false? And so if you decide to say, oh, this lady or this guy, I'm going to let go because yes, this person is not embracing my uniqueness, then what makes you think you're not going to get somebody else? And you might say, oh, but I'm married, I can't just pack out of my husband's side. I am not going to say you should. However, let me tell you, marriage is deeper than relationship. And so if you're not going to give your best version in that marriage, you are cheating your spouse. You are cheating your children, peradventure you are cheating yourself. And so why don't you sit up and start looking inward and tell yourself, I need to find me, because that's the only time that home can even find fulfillment, enjoyment. Because when what you are serving is fake, it definitely will have ripple effect on everything around you. And stop shrinking just because that's how the whole world is. No, if this set of people around your life right now don't satisfy you, they are not accepting you, even if they are your family members, don't worry. I am not saying, oh, kill all of them or divorce all of them or cut off from all of them. What you should do is you move away and get a new set of people. Jesus inspires me. There was a time his brothers, the Bible says his brothers were mocking him. That was when it was close to the time of his crucifixion. He was supposed to go for Passover, But because he just had an encounter with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, he was in Nazareth. And he was supposed to go, it was time of Passover. Everybody goes to Jerusalem. And so his mother and father left. And so his brothers came and said, are you not the Savior again? Are you the Messiah again? Why are you not going for Passover? He said, no, not yet. He said, are you not going to stay back? Oh, so you are afraid. You are afraid. And they were mocking him. But there is no record in the Bible that the 12 he chose, any of his brothers were there. Because you just have to find your own tribe. I am not saying cut away from there, because eventually after his death, the James that was recorded in the Bible happened to be his biological brother. They eventually now found out that, oh, this guy is actually true. Oh, this guy was actually the real deal. And they all came around, I believe. So don't let anybody's opinion shrink you. Spread your wings. It doesn't matter if nobody believes in you. What you need to believe is, if you believe in yourself, what you need to do is believe in yourself. You are the first cheerleader of your belief, of your vision. You are the first cheerleader. Even when nobody is seeing you, keep evolving. Keep doing the thing. One day, you're going to attract the right tribe to yourself. I believe Jesus didn't start out when he chose the 12. He probably would have started something significant, something different, something unique, even when he was at home with his brothers. And of course, at that time, they probably would have been telling him, oh, you are too this, oh, you are too opinionated, oh, you are too this, you are too much, you are too. And that could probably be the reason. You see, the first miracle Jesus did in the Bible says that he went to a wedding party. Like every other person, he was a guest. Like every other person, his mother was there. And all of a sudden, they said the wine is finished. And the mother came up to him as if they gave him money to buy drinks. He wasn't the one in charge of their drinks. They had, they called somebody master of ceremony. That was the, like the coordinator for the party. They had somebody coordinating the party. And all of a sudden, the mother walked up to him and said, hey, Jesus, they said they don't have drinks again. And I like his response. His first response was, hey, so how is that my business? Did they tell you that they gave me the money I didn't supply? Or did they tell you that I drank everything? So why are you telling me? How is it my business? And guess what? She didn't argue with him. He just turned to the servants around and said, see, this is all I'm going to say to you guys. Whatever Jay tells you, just do it. And she left. So I believe the mother would have seen one or two things while they were at home before his ministry ever came to be, that made her to know this is the real deal, even though his brothers didn't believe in him. So if people don't believe in you, if they tell you you're too much, keep doing the too much. Very soon, you see that too much, it's going to so make you unique, so separate you, so makes you so distinct, that the kind of life you're meant to live, you will attract it. My question to you now is, for those so many years that you have shrunk yourself to accommodate others, to receive or crave for the approval or the validation, how helpful has it been to you? Because I can tell you from my own story, the only thing I know I got from it is delayed progress and dissatisfaction, unfulfilled life, depression, and what have you. Those are the things I know I got. So how well has it worked out for you? So if you have done something over time and it hasn't given you a positive, any positive reward, why don't you then stop and do what exactly you need to do? Even though nobody believes in it, even though nobody wants to hear you, or you think nobody wants to hear you, like I said, like I used to think. No, who will listen to you? What do you have to say? You that you talk too much, you that nobody wants to listen to you, you that your siblings are this, they tell you this and all that. And guess what? It brought me only delayed progress. So from today, I'm going to challenge you. Stop shrinking yourself. Spread your wings. Don't allow anybody to put you down. Don't allow anybody to make you downplay. Go all out, but not disrespectful to humanity, not dishonoring people. Just do your thing. They don't have to like it. And stop forcing others, because really this has to be in two ways. Let me just chip this in. Stop forcing others to change for you. They don't have to. They were created with those unique personality for a reason. If it doesn't serve you, it's going to serve someone else. Stop making people to shrink for you. Oh, I want to marry you, but you have to stop going to work. Why? I want to marry you, but you have to stop wearing this kind of clothes and start wearing this kind. Why? If that's what she likes, let her be. Oh, I want to marry you. Why are you using marriage as a weapon? Why are you using it as it's a national treasure or it's a lifetime treasure? Oh, I would like to marry you, or my family would like to marry you, but you have to be this. Nobody needs to be anything for you to be who you are. Allow everybody to be. You don't have to shrink for anyone. Nobody needs to shrink for you. And see how the world is going to be a beautiful place when you manifest who you are. When I manifest who I am, it's going to be a world full of beauty, a world full of freedom, a world full of liberation. Not the chaos that we have around, especially in the space of relationship and marriages. Probably because we have round pegs in square holes. And you're trying to fit in, and it's hurtful and it's disempowering for you. Stop fitting in. Stop shrinking. So till I come your way next week, or tomorrow, or anytime I come your way, I remain your best friend. And don't forget, like I always tell you, I am rooting for you. I love you all. God bless you.